Hello YouTube, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got plenty going on. As you can tell by the title of the thumbnail and the video by itself, this is my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel, and go check out my WWE NXT review on highlights. And follow my social media down below in the description. Let's get started. Now AEW Dynamite was a good show for what it was, and it was way better than Smackdown. Alright. It says AEW Dynamite was live from Independence, Missouri cable Dahmer Arena. Alright. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and it's just as good a night for fighting as any. Alright. We get a rundown of what's coming up tonight, along with a look back at the injury Kota Ibushi sustained a collision, and the involvement of Kenny Omega backstage. We see Kenny Omega talking to Jack Perry to set up the trios match tonight. Commentary runs down the rest of what's to come tonight, along with the lineup for AEW Wrestle Dream. With that, we head backstage for famous last words before Wrestle Dream. AEW Women's World Champion Kris Statlander and Timeless Toni Storm. And this and right here, and this segment right here, this was okay. This was not okay. This was a pretty good segment in my opinion. Toni Storm talks about how she is still title runner, who she is without it. But just as important, who is Kris Statlander? Kris Statlander, we tore saying that Toni never know who Kris Statlander is, because she is consistently evolving. Godspeed. Toni Storm will give you the rest you deserve. Toni Storm responds saying wrestling is full of lies, but at AEW Wrestle Dream we will find out the truth. Kris Statlander says she knows the truth. She just needs to accept it. She asks Renee Paquette if this interview is over, and the pair take their microphones off to storm off to ringside. Those famous last words quickly turns to action as the two go at it. The fight turns to Kris Statlander blocking a Storm Zero, only to take a German suplex. The pair take turns debating on hitting each other with the title. But the respect is evidence enough that neither wants to go that route before the big match at Wrestle Dream. Toni Storm's music hits as she leaves the ring before we head backstage. Now that backstage segment was just pretty good segment, but the brawl in itself was just too funny to me. You know what I'm saying? But it says Toni Storm has her hands behind her back, then Kris Statlander has her hands behind her back. That was just like awkward moment right there. But it is what it is. It says right here. What was I? It says Jack Perry explores his crafty side within a way at a wood block as he addresses the Young Bucks. He says he loves them, but when he needed the Young Bucks the most, they left him behind and refused to have his back. So he had to go deep into his past to find someone who would. Luchasaurus appears growing as we head to the back to ringside. Alright. So we get GOA make their way out first for our opening match, accompanied by Ricochet to the ring. Out next are the Hurt Syndicate alongside MVP, with commentary looking back at the street fight last week and reminding us this is a straight up tag team match as we get underway. So we get the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus GOA, Bishop Khan and Tora Luna. And this tag team match right here, I ain't even gonna lie, this was a decent tag team match war. This was decent. We start off with Shelton Benjamin and Khan going at it, with Shelton Benjamin sending Bishop to the corner, and Khan turns it around, but Shelton Benjamin stands up to him, exchanging of holds leads to Khan hitting the ropes before Shelton Benjamin catches him with a kick and a suplex. Tag to Bobby Lashley for a double team. Starling suplex from Bobby Lashley takes Bischoff to the mat hard. Khan starts to turn things around as Luna gets a blonde tag, but Bobby Lashley sends him off the apron before going after Bischoff. Ricochet distracts the referee while Khan hits a low blow, and Luna follows up by dropping Lashley to the floor as we go to commercial break. Luna is in control of things as we come back from commercial break, bringing Bobby Lashley up to his feet in the ring. Bobby Lashley sends him to a corner, taking a boot from Toa before hosting him up and cover. Both men head to their corners as we get Bischoff and Shelton Benjamin tagging in. Shelton Benjamin sends Bischoff to the corner as Ricochet tries to intervene, only to take a kick from Shelton Benjamin. Khan takes him down, but only gets a 2 count, and Shelton Benjamin fights back to counter a suplex into a DDT. Luna is back in the ring, landing a headbutt before Bobby Lashley comes in for the assist. They fight leaves the ring as Bobby Lashley takes out Toa, and back in the ring, we see Ricochet land a spear gun on Shelton Benjamin before sliding out, only but to be laid out by MVP as we see Bischoff get the pin on Shelton Benjamin for the win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Jill White. This was a decent match for what it was. Decent tag team match for what it was. This marks the first pinfall loss for the Hurt Syndicate in the tag team action since they debuted in AEW, and Jill White celebrate with Ricochet on the ramp. We take a look at the confrontation between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley at New York Comic Con ahead of their I Quit match at Wrestle Dream, and we head to an undisclosed location for it. So we get special face-to-face Darby Allin. So special face-to-face Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. This was a good segment. I enjoyed this segment for what it was. The visitation windows of shorts separates the two men as Jon Moxley addresses the situation they're in. He knows Darby Allin isn't one to quit. He wonders what's that supposed to do. Darby Allin admits that he thought about joining the Dark Riders, but remember what he did to Bryan Danielson and can't see him going to war with someone who would do that. Jon Moxley says sacrifices have to be made. Darby Allin knows that at the summit of Mount Everest, he saw the freedom that AEW represents and how Jon Moxley is trying to chip away at all of it. He says that when he makes Jon Moxley quit at AEW Wrestle Dream, and the rest of his crew will see Jon Moxley for who he really is, and the whole thing will come crumbling around him. Jon Moxley responds by saying Darby Allin's opponent at Wrestle Dream is not Jon Moxley, but he goes that Darby Allin has been dealing with all his life. He says that at Wrestle Dream, Darby Allin will understand none of this is about Jon Moxley. As he finished his statement, Pac blindsides Darby Allin, smashes him into the desk and window. Darby Allin is bloodied and left alone as Pac and Jon Moxley leave the room. And we cut outside to the arena to see the rest of the Death Riders ahead of their match tonight. Claudio Castagnoli is in action. Up next, he will face Roger Strong. So we go to commercial break. We head backstage to see Claudio Castagnoli making his way through the crowd before heading to ringside for our next match. Roger Strong makes his entrance and what they get this match on the way. All right, so we get Claudio Castagnoli versus Roderick Strong, and this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie, this was a good match in my opinion. The two go at it early on, with Claudio taking the upper hand as he sends Roger Strong to the mat. Roger Strong starts to fight back until Claudio takes control with a side headlock. He breaks free to hit the ropes, dodging an attack by Roderick Strong to land a backbreaker on the man, using dashing them out, dishing them out. Alright, Roderick Strong fights to his feet, only to be dropped with a scoop slam by Claudio Castagnoli, who follows up with a chinlock. Roderick Strong back on his feet as he hits the ropes, running right into a big boot by Claudio. Roderick Strong leaves the ring for a breather, but gets brought up by the hair to the apron by Claudio Castagnoli. They go at it until Roderick Strong draws Claudio onto the hard set pair of the ring. With his opponent on the outside, Roderick Strong goes back in the ring for a baseball slide, only to be caught by Claudio for a swing that sends Roderick Strong into the guardrail as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Roderick Strong lands a drop kick on Claudio in the ring, only to be laid out for a near fall by Claudio Castagnoli. He transitions to a crossface, but Roderick Strong managed to reach the ropes with his legs to break the hold. Roderick Strong in the corner, taking some shots from Claudio Castagnoli, who lands a back suplex for a 2 count. Claudio Castagnoli grabs the legs of Roderick Strong, who avoids him to hit the ropes for a clothesline and back heel kick. And he also dodges a kick by Claudio Castagnoli, sending him to the outside for a kick through the ropes that sends Claudio Castagnoli into the barricade and then brings him up for a backbreaker. Roderick Strong brings Claudio Castagnoli back in the ring, but he gets caught in the corner by Claudio Castagnoli. They go at it on the turnbuckles, where Roderick Strong lands a kick on Claudio Castagnoli before hitting some clubbing blows, followed by a backbreaker onto the top turnbuckles. Both men making their way up, and Claudio Castagnoli blocks a knee strike, but by Roderick Strong to land a pop up uppercut for the win. The winner of the match, Claudio Castagnoli. This was a good match in my opinion. Claudio Castagnoli leaves the ring as we cut away from ringside. We get a look back at Don Callis celebrating his birthday on Monday alongside his family. I'm so sick and tired of the Don Callis family. That's all I gotta say. This introduced a video message from Konosuke Takeshita, who promised to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship for the Don Callis family. Okada has heard enough, studying off the video and claiming he pressed the wrong button before they move on with their dinner. We then get a look at the NJ New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Pro Wrestling that night in Japan as Takeshita victory over Zack Sabre Jr. to make good on his promise to the family. Back at ringside, Don Callis introduced his family for our next match. Mark Davis, Jones Alexander, and Hikaru as the trios. Action up next, and Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express and the family head to ringside as we go to commercial break. We're back at ringside. The crowd pop for Jurassic Express, who makes their way down to the ring. This is followed by the arrival of Kenny Omega, another big pop from the crowd. We get this match on the way. So we get Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Mark Briscoe. So we get Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Mark Davis, Hikaru, and Josh Alexander. Alright, and this tag team match right here, I ain't gonna lie, this was a fun tag team match to watch. Kenny Omega is in the ring waiting to see who faced him to start this match off. Alexander teases getting involved only to tag in Hikaru instead. Kenny Omega and Hikaru trade holds, with Kenny Omega kicking out quickly to keep the luchador off his game. Hikaru clubs by taking out the leg of Omega, followed with an inverted dragon screw. Kenny Omega brought to his speed for an arm Wagner. but Hikaru gets into the outside. Alexander attacks Kenny Omega to keep him at bay, bringing him back in the ring as Mark Davis gets the tag. This leads to a 3-on-1 attack until Josh Alexander get back in, and Kenny Omega managed to get a tag to Perry. Jack Perry gets some shots on get some shots in on Alexander before quickly tagging Luchasaurus for a double team, and the big man Dino gets some hard shots on Josh Alexander as well before Jack Perry tags in for a near fall. Tag made to Davis, and he lays out Jack Perry with a shoulder tackle, sending him to the outside as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, chaos has ensued until Jack Perry gets taken down for an ankle lock by Josh Alexander. Davis and Hikaru clear the apron of Jack Perry's partner, leaving him to find a way out on his own. With an insecurity on Alexander, Kenny Omega backs on his feet, slowly gets on the apron as if debating whether to take the tag from Jack Perry before he comes in. Facts take the tag under the and Josh Alexander for a near fall despite Hikaru efforts to intervene. Josh Alexander reigns control with a set of German suplex, but Kenny Omega fights back for a backslide, and then a driving knee strike. This gets a 2 count for Josh Alexander and grabs the ropes. Tag made to Luchasaurus and a big headbutt on Davis to see him to the ropes. Tag made to Kenny Omega, who looks for a B trigger, but before Don Callis hops on the apron and distracts him, and this allows Josh Alexander to land a chop block. Davis looks for a lariat on Kenny Omega, but Jack Perry takes a powerbomb bullet. Kenny Omega blocks a powerbomb, but takes a stuffed pillow by Davis. A stuffed power drop by Davis. Instead, while managing the narrowly kick out at 2, Luchasaurus runs in for an assist as Hikaru tags in, but he gets taken out by Jack Perry, who tags in, and a Doomsday device gets the win. The winner of the match, Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express. But man, I can say that was a fun tag team match. The celebrate is cut short by the arrival of the Young Bucks, who goes after Jurassic Express before confronting them. This is cut off by Jurassic Express, sending the Young Bucks to the back. Before an escalator leads to a dive by Jack Perry onto the Don Callis family. Jurassic Express celebrates up on the ramp as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We head back to ringside for our next match, as Sky Blue is accompanied by Julia Hart on her way down to the ramp. Out next is Jamie Hayter, who makes a beeline for the ring as we get this match underway. So we get Sky Blue versus Jamie Hayter, and this match right here, I might as well say, this was a solid match for what it was. Jamie Hayter quickly takes Sky Blue to the mat, but Sky Blue fights to her feet for an arm wringer. She gets a hammerlock on Jamie Hayter, who gets caught on her shoulders for a near fall. On a side headlock, Jamie Hayter is kept from standing up as Sky Blue pulls her down by her hair before Jamie Hayter makes it back up. She takes Sky Blue down hard, eventually getting a 2 count. She brings Sky Blue to the corner, slamming her head against the turnbuckles before mounting up on the fourth of some punches. Snap suplex sends the Sky Blue to the canvas for a near fall. Another suplex forces Sky Blue to roll out of the ring for a baseball for a breather. As Julia Hart checks on her while Jamie Hayter leaves the ring, Jamie offers a free shot to her, but Sky Blue lands a thirst. Yes, Sky Blue lands a thirst kick instead before landing a neckbreaker off the apron to keep Jamie Hayter down as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Sky Blue regains control to set Jamie Hayter up on the turnbuckles. Jamie Hayter fights her off before landing a missile dropkick, sending Sky Blue to the canvas. She sends Sky Blue to the corner before sending her crashing back to the mat with a back elbow drop for a near fall. Big boot by Jamie Hayter yields the same result. She brings Sky Blue onto her shoulders, but Sky Blue fights back for a stunner. She sends Jamie Hayter to the mat before they trade strikes, and Jamie Hayter with a backbreaker again regain control both women up on the ramp as the referee begins to count. Sky Blue heads to the apron, using the ropes to get back on her feet as Jamie Hayter stands back up. She goes after Sky Blue, but is sent to the outside, where she catches Sky Blue in midair to a midair slam onto the floor. She brings Sky Blue back into the ring in a running lariat by Jamie Hayter. Get the former women's world champion a 2 count. She blocks a hydration for a slice bread. Only get a 2 count before Jamie Hayter pops back up for a hydrate to pick up the win. The winner of the match, Jamie Hayter. And this was a okay match, solid match what it was. Alright. Julia brings Sky Blue back. Julia brings Sky Blue out of the ring to regroup as Jamie Hayter celebrates her win. The caller appears on the screen, admitted that she only stacked Jamie Hayter and maybe because she was there and nothing more. Her name is Poison. And on Saturday she's gonna get toxic to the core. Come on, Jamie Hayter, impress me. Jamie Hayter scoffs at this. Her music plays while more as we cut away. We head backstage to hear from Ultimo Monet celebrate her holding 10 titles at Sense before she focused on Wrestle Dream. She talks about becoming the longest reigning TBS champion on Friday at 509 days. A big deal for her as she gears up to defend the female title. Defends the female title against Postpone at Arena, Mexico. With that, she walks off as we go to a commercial break with the World Trios Championship match coming up next. So we go to commercial break. We head to ringside, what feels like the main event for the Dynamite portion of the evening, as Hangman Adam Page heads to commentary to help call the action. Our first is of this World Trios Championship match is LFI with Jalisco, Rush, and the Beast Mortals ready to challenge the Ops. The challenge comes out curiously using separate entrance for Hobbs / Shibata and Samoa Joe as they head to ring. Stare down their challengers as we get this match on the way. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get the AEW World Trios Championship match. The Ops defense against LFI. And this main event right here, I ain't even gonna lie. This main event was okay for what it was. Alright. Hobbs and Mortaros starts things off. He hosts fight between the Powerhouse and the Beast as they send each other into the corner. House takes the upper hand to set Motaros up in a turnbuckle, knocking Jalisco off the apron when he tries to intervene, and this allows the Beast to take him to the mat. Powerhouse is back up and takes what was it? It says Hobbs and Motaros start things off as Hobbs fight between the Powerhouse Hobbs and the Beast as they send each other into the corner. Hobbs takes the upper hand to set Motaros up in a turnbuckle, knocking Jalisco off the apron when he tries to intervene, and this allows the Beast to take him to the mat. Hobbs is back up and takes Motaros down with a shoulder tackle, and Rush tags in. He calls for Shibata to get in, and Shibata takes the tag to land a fury of strikes on Rush, who responds with some chops. That's where I was at. Alright, I've been caught up. Shibata pays him back and Khan stopping Toro Belenko with a STO before Samoa Joe tags himself in. Motaros tags in as well, and we get another big man battle as Motaros slaps Samoa Joe in the face, only to take some jabs from the champ. He sends Motaros down before getting a tag to Shibata, who hits a snapmare on Motaros before the rest of the LFI run in for the assist. Things break down as LFI essentially triple team the wrestler, sending him to the corner for a triple drop kick. They stand tall as we go to a commercial break. We're back from commercial break. Jalisco comes in for a near fall on Shibata before sending him to the corner. Jalisco runs to the corner but gets cut off with a running boot by Shibata, who follows it up with a running drop kick for a 2 count. Tag made to House, and the Powerhouse cuts off the LFI, trying to intervene before stacking them up in the corner. But Rush gets a boot on Powerhouse Hobbs, and Motaros each changed at the Powerhouse. Each charge at the Powerhouse, who takes them out with the ease before catching Jalisco for a big slam. The tag made to Samoa Joe to clear the ring, dropping Jalisco for a near fall. He gets another one before Jalisco kicks out, and he sends Jalisco to the corner before Rush and Motaros runs in. Chaos ensues as Shibata takes Rush to the outside, while Powerhouse keeps Motaros away. Jalisco heads to the top, but gets caught in a coquina clutch by Samoa Joe, and he taps out and goes out cold as the referee calls for the bell. Alright, it says the winner by submission and still your AEW World Trios Champion, the Ops. This main event match was I might as well say this main event match was this was a fun main event match what it was. So I changed my mind. So this was a fun main event match what it was. Alright. There is no time for celebration as the LFI attacks the Ops after the match before Rush spits on Page and rallies him up. Page enters the ring to get some revenge, clearing them from the ring as Samoa Joe picks up the AEW World Championship. There's a brief stare down between Samoa Joe and Hangman Adam Page before Samoa Joe forcibly hands the title back to the champion. Samoa Joe leaves the ring, mounting off at the Hangman Adam Page as the Dynamite portion of the night comes to a close. Alright, so if you guys, let me get my opinion about thinking about AEW Dynamite. Now, AEW Dynamite was a good show and it was way better than SmackDown. So anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW SmackDown with AEW Dynamite review on highlights, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning to the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content I do on the channel. Go check out my WWE NXT review on highlights and follow my social media down below in the description. So if I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, I'll go live on Twitch. Want some retro gaming live on Twitch. So have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will see you guys in my upcoming world premiere for my AEW Dynamite review on highlights at 4 o'clock a.m. Say too sweet. And I'm out of here. Gang.